Hello to my lovely Capricorns. I hope you're happy this fine Christmas. I assume most of you are not going to watch this on Christmas Day because if I know my Cappies, given the opportunity and the right conditions, you are going to be having Christmas dinner, table absolutely full of food that you've probably made. A whole family around. It's probably absolute chaos, but it's that kind of like good, wholesome kind of chaos. Very Capricorn energy. So I'd be surprised if I get any views on this reading today, but whenever you get to it, I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas. I am getting some of you though, maybe having a bit of a lean Christmas. Maybe a few of you've had to tighten your belts a little bit. Maybe somebody's not at the table who normally would be. So I am getting this energy from you of some of you having a slightly sadder or low-key Christmas. So my heart really goes out to you if that's your experience at the moment. Not everybody is full on jingle bells, so you're not alone in that. And if times are tough right now, you're going to get through it. There's going to be brighter days. So small message there for the Cappies who I'm picking up on and maybe struggling a little bit. Hang on, I think my daughter might be home from school. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. The cat was extremely excited that my daughter's home. She's got like a natural, I always say this is another Capricorn thing, so anything that happens in a reading is part of the reading. She's Sagittarius, but she's got Cappy in a chart. I always say that you're a little bit like Dr. Dolittle, a little bit like shaman energy, where it's like, a lot of the time Capricorns have a real way with animals, and she's one of these people. She's like, she could go into a tiger cage and like tame the tigers. Like within about 2 minutes, those tigers would be like lay down, letting her scratch their tummies. She's got that kind of like natural ability with animals. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to literally put her in a tiger cage because I'm not an idiot. But she just have that like, she'll go over to like massive dogs and like within like, I remember being in a coffee shop with her and someone came in with it was like an emotional support, like what is it, an Alaskan Marmaloot or something like that. I think it was huge. It was like a giant husky, and it was really excitable, and it was kind of like barking at everybody, and like it was a busy coffee shop. It was kind of like looking around a little bit overstimulated, and she went, "Can I go and say hello?" I said yes, but make sure you ask the owner first if it's okay, if it's safe. And like literally it was like within about 20 seconds she was hugging it. She was like sat down with it. The dog was sat down, she hugged it, and it sat on her. When dogs are like, this is my person, I'm going to claim them, I'm going to sit on them, and then you like lay down on the floor, and she was like scratching his tummy. Like genuinely it went from like hyper to a big piece of like wet marshmallow in seconds. So I don't know why that's coming through, but it did. So Capricorns, what I'm asking, okay, we've already got an answer. What I'm asking in this reading is, firstly, this reading is my gift to you. Merry Christmas. I want to tell you how awesome you are, like I always do. But I'm asking, how are you a gift to the world? What do you bring to the table? Like, what do you contribute to, your relationships and things like this? So how are you a gift? What's your innate gift? And then what gifts are the universe bringing your way in 2022? So what is your inner gift that you're bringing out to the world, and what is the universe bringing to you as a gift? So, Goddess of the Moon, that's really interesting. It's quite Cancerian energy. So you do have your own, this is another Cappy trait, you do have your own unique brand of kind of spirituality. It's divine feminine energy, it's very intuitive, it's very kind of emotional intelligence, yeah, quite spiritual, but again it's quite unique. It is a little bit silver screen energy. So if you think of like silver screen sirens, it's really interesting because it's very Cancerian energy, and Cancer is like your polar opposite sign. So she's kind of holding this pearl. Okay, let's keep going. What's on the bottom here? Community. Everybody's getting that card. I'm tempted. I'm so sick of seeing it now. I'm tempted to like, pull it out and take it out the deck. So, Goddess of the Moon. Did you have, it came through for a couple of signs for a while. I had this thing about like the inner thread, right? And you've got the music in you. So this very beautiful, I'm just tapping into the same energy now, that's why I'm bringing it up. It's this very beautiful, like poetic thread energy that comes through from time to time. I'm picking up on that for you as well. The cheetah. That's really interesting. It's like passive and active, like water and fire. Butterfly there, transmuting something. Okay, you're gonna have a funny one. I'm gonna struggle with your reading, I think. Capricorn, what is Capricorn's? Right, okay, they're giving me lots of cards. They're like, look, we're gonna spell it out for you here. Lover's card there. Choosing your heart, making choices in love. So the Prince of Swords is very much that kind of energy. It's like swift, fast action, swift communication, information coming in, news coming in, delivering some information swiftly. Yeah, swift action, swift communication. Communication blocked. Right, hang on, let's put it this way because it's telling me a story, isn't it? Yeah. I'm really curious to know what this is going to be because I'm picking up on a storyline here. Yeah, okay, got it. There's a naughty Capricorn out there, I'm telling you. I think that at some point in your past you were quite impulsive. The cheetah is kind of giving me, it's kind of like Knight of Wands energy, but it's coming through with this Prince of Swords energy. So what I'm getting is that it's quite entrepreneurial. So it's quite entrepreneurial, it's quite Aries energy. So I'm getting this kind of, this energy of somebody in the past, I want to say Capricorn, where you used to be very cut and dry. You used to be very impulsive. You used to make snap decisions. I think I got for a while back that somebody worked in, it's almost like somebody worked in like stockbrokering, right? Where it's like, you know, buy, sell. It's very fast paced. It's very cutthroat. So I don't know, that's not going to be all of you, but I'm getting this energy of like somebody who had to, who really had to like trust their instincts at one point. They really had to trust the gut, trust the instincts, make snap decisions, not think things through a lot, and just kind of just very like cut and run energy. So like, this is the decision, we're moving on. So again, it could be something that you used to do for work, but really kind of like really having to trust your judgment, really having to make snap decisions, fast decisions. You didn't have time to think things through, basically. So it's coming through that kind of Aries Fool energy of like all Knight of Wands energy, although it's the Knight of Swords, but it's like more mental. So it's not so much, I'd say Knight of Wands tends to be doing something impulsively, doing something because you feel a knee-jerk reaction to do it. So it could be, I want to have a drink, so I'm having a drink. It's something physically that you're doing. With it being the Knight of the Prince of Swords, the Knight of Swords, even though this is fire, I think what he's telling me is it's more about, it's more like firing off communication. So like firing off emails, or having to make a decision, because swords are about thought processes, right? So it's like, I don't have time to be indecisive. I don't have time to have a conversation about this. I need to make a decision here. So like it's just like having to do it, right? Boom, boom, boom. Things are moving really quickly. So we've got to, yeah, I've got to trust my instincts on this one. I've got to make a decision. I've got to trust my instincts, right? I've got to act on I've got to act on the information that I do have right now, right? I can't wait for more information. So that kind of energy. I don't know how it applies. I don't know if this is like a general, again, it's stressful for me because I'm Libra. I'm like, I'm going to sit here with my arms crossed. This came through for Libra. Libra's this energy. Libra's like, here's the crossroads. You want me to make a decision. I'm not going to be rushed into making a decision. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to cross my arms, I'm going to be stubborn, I'm going to take as long as I need to think this through, and you know, I'm not budging until I've been given that time. So there's this kind of complex energy that's happening. So I want to say you don't like it, you're uncomfortable with it, because with this Nine of Swords energy, this is like too many thoughts. It's like it's almost like you're forced into a blockage. It's like you were rushing around, you were making snap decisions. It was go, go, go. It was buy, buy, sell, right? It was fast. It was, you know, what's done is done. We're moving on, right? What's done is done. We're moving on quickly. So, but then it's like you run into a brick wall. It's like you run up against something that will not move. Or it slows you down, right? It's like, it really feels like driving into a brick wall. I hope that hasn't happened like literally to anyone. So it could be a lack of finances, with it being the Four of Pentacles. It could be that you dealt with a very stubborn energy. It could be that some obstacle was placed in your path and you couldn't move it. So it's like this complete change of behavior from being able to move very quickly, being able to make snap decisions, from being able to kind of like really kind of like boom, 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 this is what we're doing, we're moving on. Not having time, it's like not having time to think. It's like, I get it, it's almost like, again, it's like maybe it's the job you used to do, or it's like the situation you were in, where it's like that was what was demanded of you. That's the role that you were playing. You were the one who had to make snap decisions and move quickly. So you didn't have time to sit and think. So it's like whatever this Four of Pentacles is, it's like it almost like forces you into a complete stop. And then all you can do is think. It's like you can't do anything else. It could be that you were bedridden, right? It could be like physically, you had a period of ill health. You weren't able to run around and do the things that you used to do. So it doesn't have to be that, but it could be for some of you. So it's like whatever this is, whatever this big elephant is, and it's like an elephant in the room, whatever this obstacle is. I feel like you get elephant a lot because it's to do with ancestry for me. It's about taking slow and steady steps forward. So it's this real slowing down energy. It's almost like, you know, people say 0 to 60. It's like you went from 60 to like 0, and then it's like maybe you were able to go at like 1 mile an hour. And so it's like whatever used to be fast is now like painfully slow. It's funny because I'm asking what's your gift, and I'm going to get to it, and I'm really glad this card's here because I was really curious about this end result. So being forced into this slow motion, Charlotte Lawrence's slow motion, that makes sense. Being forced into this slow motion, being forced into this, it's almost like a mental jail cell energy, where it's like you're forced to think things through, you're forced to go back over it, and it's almost agonizing for you, because it's like you don't want to, you want to keep on moving forward, you want to be in this cheater energy, you want to be in this fast movement energy, and so having to stop and having to think and having to look back and having to reflect. This is Pluto in retrograde. I talk about this all the time. This is what's been happening. So you're going back over the past. You're looking at every decision you've ever made, thinking, was that the right decision? Could I have handled things differently? I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd done that differently. What would have happened if I'd have made that decision instead? Where would I be today if I'd have like made a different decision at that point? Like literally, this can be depression. It can be intense stress. This is like stress when it becomes like not something that's temporary, but something that's like really affecting your health. The Nine of Swords is like extreme mental health issues. It could be that you've had a mental breakdown, some of you. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I left there, but all these things happen for a reason, and it does bring you lessons, and it does bring you a gift, because whatever that is, whatever that agonization is, while you weren't able to move, you weren't able to run around like the Princess of Swords or the cheetah, it's actually brought you into King of Wands energy, because it's forced you, I want to say for some of you, and I love you Capricorns, you know I think the world of you, I'm like your energy feels like home to me, like you feel like Christmas dinner to me. That's the energy I get from your readings. But you know, sometimes we are forced to look in the mirror, sometimes we are forced to look at our own behavior, sometimes we are forced to slow down and take accountability. And I feel like that's what Pluto in retrograde has been doing for you, because I think that whatever this used to be, it doesn't feel like, it feels like a part of you. I don't want to say that this isn't you, you know, again, that's talking about taking accountability. It's a part of you. I want to say it's a part of you where whatever you were doing it very, very well. But it was what was demanded of you, right? It was the role you were playing at that time. And I want to say that you were only playing, because it was such a stressful environment to be in, this was the only role that you were playing. And I don't think it was healthy for you. So it's almost like sometimes the energy says, if you don't slow down, we're going to make you stop. And I feel like you didn't slow down because you were so caught up in some kind of environmental factor that you were rushing around with, right? So the universe made you stop. It's the energy of I used to work in retail, which can be very, very fast paced, especially at Christmas. And it was so stressful. I loved it, right? Like my actual job that I was doing, I loved it so much and I was good at it. But it was incredibly demanding. And let's not talk about the company I worked for, but I had a lot of enthusiasm for it, again with that kind of like Knight of Wands energy that I'm picking up on with the cheetah. Like I had a lot of enthusiasm for it, and I had a lot of, it was, you had to think fast, you had to make decisions, you had to strategize. It was very fast paced. But because of the Christmas period, and literally I would be constantly moving around the entire, it was it was 3 floors. It was 2 shops that kind of became one big shop. So it was 3 floors. And I actually ended up working on all 4 floors. And I would have to completely move everything around in the entire shop almost on a daily basis, right? It was so hard to keep up with. And so by Christmas Eve I had burnout, right? And by New Year's I'd never go out on New Year's because I'd be sick. You know, I'd have the flu. So it's that energy of like, if you don't slow down, the universe is going to like make you sick. So you have to have rest. It's that energy. Yeah, so whatever it is, whatever slowed you down, whatever knocked you off your game, whatever got you stuck in your own head, it's like you had nothing to do. It's like you refused to think. You were acting on fire, right? You were making split decisions, and then it's like the universe is like, all you can do now is think. All you can do now is analyze, process. It's like, that's what you need to do because you weren't doing it here. So we're giving you the space you need to do that. As painful as it is, as hard as it is, that's what you need. It's like it's catching up with you. So what the payoff is and what the real gift is here, Capricorn, is that you've gone into King of Wands energy. So the difference between this kind of juvenile energy, I'm going to call it what it is, right? This juvenile energy of the cheetah and the Prince of Wands, who acts impulsively and doesn't put a lot of thought into things. The King of Wands has thought really long and hard about it because he's been through this, right? He's processed. So I want to say that you made a lot of mistakes in this energy, because you're going to make a lot of mistakes in that energy because you're not thinking about it, right? And again, going back to this difference between Aries and Libra that's been coming up. Aries is impulsive, they make a lot of mistakes, but they learn from it, they become the King of Wands. Libra doesn't have to make the mistakes because Libra thinks about it and doesn't make the mistakes in the first place, right? So it's like Libra misses this bit out. Libra does this before they even think about doing this. Like Libra does this while Aries is doing this, but the end result is the same. It gets you to this. So it's just funny, it's come up in a few readings, so I just thought I'd kind of like go through that again. So yeah. So maturing, because this is a mature energy. Juvenile energy, it's like making mistakes as a teenager, learning your lessons from it, right? Then getting to a point where you think about it and you go, oh, I remember doing all those mistakes. I remember all those things that I did that I'm not proud of. I wish I'd, you know, the agonization. But yeah, you get to King of Wands energy. So if I stop talking about all this stuff, and do we just talk about your gift here? Using different muscles. And the different muscles are, you cannot have what you want and you need to deal with it. And you need to sit there and you need to suffer until you learn all the lessons and become the King of Wands. The King of Wands has made so many mistakes, and they've learned all the lessons from them, and now they have so much self-control. So they're not going to be impulsive, or they can still be spontaneous. You know, they're Leo energy, they're a bold leader, they're a lot of fun, they're very magnetic, they're very, very sexy. I'd say the King of Wands is more sexy than the Knight of Wands, right? Because the Knight of Wands is immature, it's in and out energy, it's like teenager energy. The King of Wands is like very, very loyal, and they're in it for the long run because they're sure about what they want. They're not testing the waters anymore. You know, it's that energy. I've kissed a lot of frogs, and I finally found my handsome prince. Because, and then it's like, you know, like, okay, yeah, it's that kind of energy. So a maturity that comes from knowing what you want, but also knowing what you really don't want. So yeah, really, really good. But another factor that I've not mentioned yet is this kind of psychic network that's opening up for you. There's this whole, it's like a whole intuitive Narnia of emotions, like psychic emotional stuff that you're now accessing, because it's like this slowing, it's this energy of I can't have what I want, so I'm going to kind of reach out psychically, or like I can't have what I want, so I'm going to explore these deep, deep emotions here that are connected to this. So it's bringing out this whole feminine side of your nature. If you've been almost like that Wolf of Wall Street energy that keeps on coming through, where it's like you've been in some kind of like high pressure, fast paced work environment that is very competitive, it is very masculine, it is very cutthroat. It's like now you've got this whole part of yourself that's opened up to you, that's all this divine feminine energy, that's like just intuition, being very in touch with your emotions, understanding what your emotions mean, knowing what you feel about a situation, knowing what you want from a situation, having self-control, and that doesn't mean denial, right? There's a difference between wanting something and the universe saying you can't have it because you're acting like a teenager, and I know what I want, I know that I can have it, and I'm going to have it when I'm ready to have it, right? It's like that energy of, say you have, say your favorite food is like chocolate cake and you have a chocolate cake in front of you, but you can't resist it, so you just eat the whole chocolate cake, and it's like in 10 minutes the whole chocolate cake is gone. You didn't even enjoy it because you just basically forced it into your mouth like the kid from Matilda. So Augustus, no, is it Augustus? I don't know. The kid from Matilda, he stuffs the chocolate cake in his face, right? And it's like the universe is like, Mrs. Trunchbull, like, oh, you like chocolate cake, do you? Eat the whole chocolate cake right now. But it's like, you know, like you've got more chocolate cake that you could either want, or you've got no chocolate cake. The chocolate cake is up behind a piece of glass, and you just can't have it, right? But it's like you've waited that long for it that you've now got self-control, you've developed, you've matured. So now you know that that chocolate cake's there for you, and maybe you're just going to have, like, maybe you're just going to put your finger in the chocolate cake and have a little taste, and that's all you need at that moment, is like just a little taste, is like, you know, really savoring it in your mouth, really enjoying it, taking the time to enjoy it, and then like maybe have a little slice, you know, and then it's like, so the enjoyment lasts a lot longer. So yeah, it's real, I don't know, it feels like it took you, it feels like it was a mission, right? It feels like the universe had to give you a really hard kick to make you understand that pleasure is something that should be savoured, but you got there. So the light is fading, but let's find out what the universe is bringing towards you, because you're going to get a reward for this, right? You've learned the hard lessons. Pluto went retrograde, we all know this, it hurt. What is the universe bringing towards you because you've learnt your lessons from whatever that just feel like I've got this energy of like the universe being your Mrs. Trunchbull now. Right, okay, what is coming Capricorn's way? Make it something nice, because I want my Capricorns to be happy. I know that they've suffered, like, I know that they've suffered through this, right? Cappy, Cappies, I want you to be happy. What is the universe bringing your way? That is too much. I'm seeing strategy. I'm not taking that many. What gift, what one big, massive, awesome gift is the universe bringing Capricorn's way to make them super happy. Right, well, you're not getting one. The universe is like, no, they've done the healing. They're getting a load of stuff. Blossoming abundance and journey. So perhaps you're traveling, perhaps you're taking a different route. What's interesting is, let me just turn the light on 1 second. Yeah, what's interesting to me is a couple of signs have got this energy of being at a crossroads, but also being forced to make a decision and refusing to make a decision. I think you had it first, actually. I think a few months back you had this reading of, I'm sure it was you, not making a choice is a choice too. And if somebody's trying to force you to make a choice, you know, if somebody's like, oh, time pressure, make a quick choice, there's probably some reason behind that where it benefits them if you make a quick choice, right? Not making a choice is a choice too. So being presented with two offers like they're the only choices, but saying, actually, do you know what, holding back. It's like, which cake do you want? Do you want a chocolate cake or do you want I don't know, Victoria sponge? And being like, well, like both those cakes. And it's like, well, you can only have one. And it's like, which cake do you want? You can only have one, and that's the cake that you need to eat for the rest of your life. And you were like, this is a really tough decision. And both the chefs are like, no, you have to make a choice really, really quickly. Make a cake. That's the only cake you get to eat. That's the only meal you get to eat for the rest of your life. You know, like, it's like, well, why are you rushing me? Why are you rushing me to make this choice? You know, it's quite an important choice. I really like cake. So, yeah. But then it's like sitting back and taking back control, because if people are rushing you, they're undermining your control in the situation. So this is you taking a step back, taking the time to consider, you know, being like, right, give me the, you know, let me taste test the cakes. You know, I don't know which cake I want if I've not tasted them. So it's like, yeah, taking back control in the situation. So, yeah, I think Libra and Scorpio had it as well. I can't remember who had it now. I've done, this is like my 9th reading or something today. But it's like being presented with this idea that the only two ways that you can go is this way or this way. But what the girl is actually doing in this picture is, to me, there's a river here, and she's signaling with this lantern to say, come and pick me up. I'm going to take this route, right? It's like, this is this energy. It's like intuitively connecting with your emotions in a way where it's like, I don't like any of the options that are being presented to me, so I'm going to go my own way. I'm gonna go off into unexplored territory or something like that. So a journey coming in for you, and it's going to take you to true value and true abundance, I want to say. And the appreciation of it as well. Like I was saying, like, you don't appreciate that chocolate cake if you eat it all in 10 minutes. But if you take your time with it, if you really savor it, and if you make it last, you know, then that's real appreciation of it. I feel like this can flip and reverse though, because you had something like this in your last reading where it's like, which was yesterday, right? When you get this reading, it's going to be the day before, where it's like somebody didn't appreciate what you'd made for them. And do you know what? It may have been the reading that, I think I re-recorded your reading. I think something failed with the first one and I ended up redoing it. I can't quite remember. But there was this energy of, you know, making a cake and somebody not appreciating it. You know, making something and somebody, you know, taking advantage of you, or, you know, giving to a situation where, you know, you were being taken advantage of in some sort of way. So it's like, well, I'm going to stop giving you cake then. Like, I'm going to stop inviting you to Christmas dinner if all you do is cause me trouble. I'm going to invite somebody else to the Christmas dinner, and then maybe they'll appreciate me better. Wait, hang on. Let me just keep going, because I don't know which one it wanted me to take there. Right, okay. It's giving me the owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat. Could be Scorpio or Sagittarius. I think you have the owl. Quite a few signs have the unicorn. So there's something coming towards you that you don't quite believe it. It feels like it's too good to be true. I feel like I saw another reader that had a Capricorn title that was like Capricorn something about too good to be true. I didn't watch the video, but I remember seeing it. Learning some big lessons here with the owl. Getting unstuck. So the blockage is being removed, and the blockage is being removed, I want to say, because you can be trusted not to eat the whole cake now. right? You can be trusted to hold back. You've got self-control. So the universe is removing some sort of blockage from you. But there is some kind of painful ending here. You've learned some big lessons. You've learned some painful lessons. I think you've dealt with some betrayal. But ultimately, I think the gift is having discernment. The gift is not getting trapped again, right? Like painful endings that have taught you big lessons about your own value, about being valued, about valuing your own time and efforts, about taking your time, about savoring things, about slowing down. And now you're getting this unicorn energy coming towards you, which is like something you dreamed about but you never thought was possible. It's like, oh my goodness, a chocolate cake with, I don't know, like a chocolate cake that's 0 calories and it's actually healthy. I know in I think where I live actually, in Manchester, one of my mum's friends got this award because she came up with a recipe for chocolate cake that was made out of like, I think it's like beetroot or something, but it's really, really tasty. It's like chocolate cake, but it's made with beetroot, so it's healthier. And then this beetroot chocolate cake got used in schools, in like school cafeterias. It got taken on by like, you know, the governing body. So yeah, it's like, it's too good to be true. How does that taste better than any chocolate cake I've ever tasted before? And yet it's made out of like vegetables. That doesn't make sense to me. But it's true, right? It's true. It's just, it's not been done before. So believe it. Something really good is coming your way. I want to say it's something to do with like health and nutrition. There's a lot of food stuff in your reading. Deep spiritual knowing. A really good journey. You may be traveling the world as well. You've got, oh, it's the wheel, not the world. Really good fortune, really good luck coming in. Like literally, this is like, luck so good. Like your luck is going to be so good, you're not going to believe it. Like this is too good to be true. Very, very good. Very good. Because you've got self-control, right? Because you know, there's only one chocolate cake worth eating now, and it's going to be the only chocolate cake you want to eat for the rest of your life. So I hope this was helpful to you. Do take care of yourselves. Cappy, cappy, cappy. I want you to be happy. And even though I keep saying that, and even though you've been through this for like 2 years, you're going towards this, right? It's going to be like, it really does feel like, I can't believe it's not butter. It's too good to be true. Energy. After something that felt really painful, but it got you free. Take care of yourselves and have a Merry Christmas. And if you don't have a Merry Christmas this year, look forward to whatever's happening next year, because it's going to be really good by the looks of things. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.